Good morning. It's July 19th, and we're in First Chronicles today. And actually, today it was really hard to choose which patches to talk about because that Romans 5 chapter is really, really good too. It's again a basic presentation of the gospel and talking about where righteousness comes from, and that we were dead, but Christ died for us, and while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. It says here. And there's a great amount of love and grace that's expounded here in Romans chapter 5. So certainly make sure you spend time looking over that. But I wanted to concentrate on this paragraph from First Chronicles. And let me find it again. It's actually David's prayer is a big part of what I wanted to talk about. But before that, let's go to verse 9 of chapter 29 or 28. Yeah, 28 verse 8, verse 9, sorry, 28 verse 9 says this, "And you, my son Solomon, acknowledge the God of your father and serve him with wholehearted devotion and with a willing mind, for the Lord searches every heart and understands every desire and every thought. If you seek him, he will be found by you, but if you forsake him, he will reject you forever. Consider now, for the Lord has chosen you to build a house to the sanctuary. Be strong and do the work." So he's talking David to his son here. This is a really great chapter. Again, including chapter 29 also with the prayer that David makes in front of the people. But um, I can imagine David's desire for his son Solomon is to follow in his footsteps to some degree, but even a greater degree to walk more faithfully than even David did in following after the Lord. That's his heart for his sons. And as I read that, that's my heart for my kids too, is that they would be wholeheartedly devoted and willing to follow the Lord, and that they would seek Him and He would be found by them, and that they would not forsake Him. And so that is my prayer and desire. And so I understand that coming from David's heart too, that he would want that for his son Solomon. It's interesting, I think, that you also see that desire for Solomon for his sons, but he also, I think, would have to acknowledge that he doesn't quite do what his father had charged him to do, too. So responsibility falls on each generation. It's not up to David what Solomon does, it's not up to Solomon what his sons do. But our desire is for our kids to even do a better job than we did in being wholeheartedly devoted to the Lord. Um, Kind of a tricky thing, because I'm sure Solomon looked at David and said, "What do you mean wholehearted devotion? I see what happened in your life in terms of sin um, and the consequences of that too." And yet, I don't think it's an illegitimate desire or even a hypocritical desire to ask for your sons to follow the Lord, somewhat in your footsteps, but hopefully better than in your footsteps. That's certainly my desire for my boys. That's it for today, then. Thanks.